Good day, welcome to another episode of Analyst Hangout here at iBrand TV, where we break down information relating to stock market and the economy. My name is Olayemi Alkonde. So before we go into what we're talking about today, I need to introduce the member of the congregation, because or the gang, whichever one you choose. I have on Zoom Alhaji Kofi Gaba, the Managing Director, APT Securities and Fund Limited. I also have on Zoom Aruna Jimo, MD Global View Capital Limited, and here in the studio, I have Ambrose Omodium. Ambrose is the MD, Invest Data Limited, and Chuks Obiri, Country Manager, TP Global FX. Hello, guys. Good evening. Alhaji, good evening. Mr. Aruna,
good evening.
All right.
I'm happy to be with you.
I'm happy to have you, too. Mr. Aruna, are you there?
Yes, good evening.
All right. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. Ambrose, how are you doing?
I'm very fine. Thanks for having me again.
And of course, the forest guy, Mr. Chuks.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a lot to discuss today, and let's first begin with the activities of the market. In summary, what happened this week, Monday through Friday. So, Ambrose, can you lead us on that?
Yeah, I would say that the market for the week, I would say it's a market of profit taking. It's expected after market have rallied for almost 20 days. Pulling back is not surprise. Anybody asking question why the market is down, tell me that I don't understand how the market operates. What is the market now is profit taking. Yesterday we saw a kind of a rebound. For this afternoon, market also pulled back a little. Yet to cover the bull run for yesterday. The market gained about 1.505 yesterday, losing like 0.6 today. For me, market is still in order. As far as market is trading above the T line, which is 8 days exponential moving average, for me, it's a strong market. If you look at your ADS and other indicators, they are still very, very strong. That means no investor or trader should panic for the week. We're looking forward to see what MPC will shape the market for next week.
The almighty MPC. A lot of people actually, it's true, a lot of people are actually looking forward to this. The meeting is Monday, Tuesday, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
And the rate has been held at 11.5 for quite a while now. Yeah. Okay, so let me go over to my Zoom congregation. Alhaji, are you still there? Hello, Alhaji. All right, fantastic.
Yes, I'm there.
Let's first begin by asking or explaining what MPC is. I mean, of course, Monetary Policy Committee, that's the committee, but what is the MPC, the rate? And why should an average investor, like somebody that doesn't really even know the full meaning of MPR to begin with, why should a person be concerned about this when it comes to investment?
Well, when we are talking of financial markets, everybody stand by what the central banks stand for, because they are the decider of the direction of the economic movement, because they move the money. And nobody can compare money market than any other market in the financial sectors. Therefore, their rate and their decision is very, very vital for the entire market of financial market, not only the money market, including the capital market. Because the money they are just running, chasing where the return is high. The moment they change, they alter the rate in the MPR, what it means that it may attract more depositors into the money market and people start selling shares. And therefore the rate in the capital market will start going down and people running into the fixed income where they are. The moment they decided to leave the rate as it was before, most of the investors decided to remain in the capital market because the capital market had the higher return, higher risk. In view of what is coming next week, we are of the opinion that the rate is likely going to remain. Why? Because the primary election by the entire political parties are coming. And there is a lot of the money play within the market. Once the primary election, because every individual candidate has to play his role and to spend as much as he can to ensure that he got the ticket. It is there after the parties start spending. Because the candidates that are going to spend the money are many, contesting both in the presidential, gubernatorial, senatorial, and House of Reps, including the state governors and the state assembly. There is a lot of interplay of the money, and CBN is aware of this. They are likely going to retain the rate because they know the quantum of the money that is going to be in circulation within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alhaji. Okay, let me hear what Mr. Aruna has to say. Hello, Aaron, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, fantastic. So, do you support Alaji's
MPC,
position?
to be Monetary Policy Committee.
Okay.
They are responsible for setting the MPR, which is monetary policy rate, which is the anchor rate in the economy. That is where all other rates take off from. That is why there is an allowance of a corridor, asymmetric corridor. What it means is that rate set every other rate in the country. So the higher the rate is, the higher the rate that all other rates will follow. And if it's reduced, that means that other rates too will be reduced.
Okay. Okay, so from your own perspective, do you think this rate is going to change or is going to remain at 11.5?
The hike in interest rate is most unlikely because the issue with the rising inflation we are expecting is not a monetary policy problem, it's a supply side problem. We understand in basic economics that when demand outweighs supply, there will be excess demand, which will trigger a rise in price. Yeah. What the CBA need to do, as far as I'm concerned, is not to begin to tinker with the MPR, is to be involved in the interventions, which they are already doing, especially in the risk sector of the economy, and most importantly, the agri subsector. You see, I think that is exactly what they need to do. I'm of a very strong belief that the MPC is going to leave that rate unchanged after Monday and Tuesday next week. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's come to the house, right? Hounders. Okay, so if, for instance, the rate is held at 11.5, like we have consensus so far, what do you think, or what do you advise investors to do? And if peradventure, stroke of luck, decide to increase it or reduce it, what do you think, or what do you advise investors to actually do? No, as my colleagues have said, rates anywhere in the world direct where funds will flow, because every fund will where to get what higher return. If rate is left unchanged at the end of the meeting for 2 days, that means in an environment of inflation is already rising. We don't need to also say we want to go into that fixed income market with that rate of inflation on the rise. Then capital market will now become attractive for you to hedge against inflation. That means you look for those stocks in the equity market, not all, of course. Yeah, those stocks in the equity market that you know that the company or the product they are into, they can easily pass their cost or increase in price to consumer. That means at the end of the day, still post the positive earnings that will support their price, because price feed on earnings. That is why you can use equity to hedge against inflation. That means we'll see more funds going to the equity market, definitely. But if eventually they increase rate, I will tell you that yes, the market will come down, but also automatically also sectors that benefit from that increase in rate too. Now, as to speak now, you can see that the agriculture sector, the industrial sector, we are seeing now healthcare. At the same time, we can see that now another improvement is coming from the telecom industry. Then, when they increase rate, I'll tell you that the banking sector will kick up. Sure. Automatically, that is where they will benefit. They see that their net interest rate, the interest income will also improve. That will now see numbers and that also coming up. That is how to invest. You have to look at this outcome of this meeting. At the end of the day, about if it is left or changed, I'm telling you that market, we're just seeing the start of market. Market will go to either 55,000 because the life of Airtel, the life of MTN, that even you saw the result of Presco that just came to the market. Market will not rated that result. These are the things that will change the market if left unchanged. But if there's any kind of adjustment, we should look at banking. Yeah. Okay. Whichever way you have stocks covered. Exactly. All right, Chooks. You see, I left you last because you're a forest guy, right? Okay. Yes. Before I start assuming you're a forest guy, tell me what you actually do on the forex desk. Okay, so basically, we trade in the forex market, okay, but then we don't restrict ourselves to just the foreign exchange industry, okay, because over time we've seen more opportunities in other markets, commodities, equities market as well, but we do more on the global scene, so basically that's just it. But then I started my career as a forex trader, but now moving into other asset classes. So I just wanted to be sure that I know that when I'm eating you, I'm eating the right direction. Yes. So we're expecting interest rates. How do you think this will impact the already volatile forex market? Okay, so from my view, okay, this interest rate coming up
most analysts actually do believe that interest rate will be left unchanged. Although I don't know, but I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective. Okay, so I've been tracking the interest rate for a while, and I realized that interest rate has remained unchanged for I think approximately the last 20 months. Okay, so and then looking at the global scene, the global economy, I realized that okay, some major economies are beginning to consider, you know, adjusting their monetary policies. Some have already started increasing rates, you know, across the globe. And also we are beginning to see that the effects of COVID-19, you know, is beginning to reduce gradually. So I'm thinking that even if we don't see a potential rating hike this time around, okay, so probably in the subsequent months we might begin to see, you know, the MPC begin to consider that. Okay, so on the effects of you know, the foreign exchange market, like you've asked, how the increase in interest rate actually affects this? So potentially we may see a bit of attraction, you know, for the naira by foreign investors if potentially they begin to see that okay, the MPC is beginning to increase interest rates. But then overall, on the long run, we still, I don't know, we still see further weakness in the naira, yes, because there are other factors actually affecting, you know, the value of the naira. So probably in the short term, we might see a bit of attraction, you know, of foreign direct investments. But nevertheless, in the long term, we still see potential for the weakness in the naira.
Okay, still with you, because we discovered that dollar actually affects. Don't worry, I'm not going to bash you that much.
Please don't.
Don't worry, I'm not going to bash you that one. I guarantee.
Okay.
I just want explanation because
please do.
It is annoying.
Yes, it is.
That few months ago, this year, while we're still alive, dollar was 570 in the black market.
Yes.
And dollar is doing 600 naira right now.
Yes.
I mean, in a town with government, you begin to wonder what is going on. Now I'm talking like a Nigerian.
Yes.
Yeah. Because some years ago, dollar was 110. Let's even not go further to when dollar was 1 to 1 era. Maybe when Ambrose was born, we're still younger generation. So let me go that far. But within our generation, dollar did 110. Yes. And our dollar is doing 600 plus. Now, let me explain what I understand. I mean, from my own perspective. So, the black market rates seem to be dictating the official rate.
Yes.
Indirectly.
Indirectly.
So black market rate goes to, let's say, 500. Then the official rate is 400. Then we sleep and wake up and say, oh, we want to close the gap. We need to close the gap. So you close the gap by moving close to black market, right? Or we sleep and wake up, then we change our mind and say, okay, we're not selling dollar to the British chain anymore. Then the next day, black market jumps up.
Okay.
And the likes of you and I, when we bring in money from wherever we're bringing in dollar, we don't exchange it in the bank. We take it to...
No, certainly.
Yeah. Now, you're not supplying the bureau de change dollar. They're going to close shop. They're going to get that dollar somehow. Yeah. And so we are having less supply of dollar in the market with increased demand because you're not giving everybody money. There was a time where you, with your MasterCard, with your Naira account, you can actually access $3,000. But now, GTB, for instance, we only give you $20 a month. So higher demand, higher pressure. And then we will still want to move our official rates closer to black market. So my question is, what exactly is going on in your department, really? What's going on?
Interesting. Okay, so it's really not my department. let me try.
Yes,
okay. You can actually say that my space. Yeah. Okay, so just like you have rightly identified, I think the average man is beginning to realize the rising, exchange rate, or the rise in the exchange rate difference between the naira and the dollar over time. Previously, most of us didn't really consider this because, I mean, and maybe why we didn't really consider is because everything seemed good in the economy, so we could still bear the burden. But right now, we realize that what we earn, in other words, our disposable income is not enough to meet,
it's not disposable anymore.
In fact, it's not disposable anymore, like you have said. Okay, so to meet up with our basic commodities, basic needs, and all of that. So people are beginning to see this. So now the truth is this, like you have said, dollar is not available to the common man. If it's not available to the common man, the man just has to look for a way of getting access to these dollars. And the more that happens, okay, people at the other side, people who have access to this dollar, are seeing the advantage in this, and they keep increasing prices, whether we like it or not.
I'm going to pause you there because, of course, it's your department. So let me ask somebody that is not in your department. Elijah, are you still there?
Yes, I'm there.
Fantastic, because I know you helped me do justice to this. What do you think is going on in the forex space? We see black market rate going up almost on a daily basis. And then you see policy coming out from CBN, policies like we're not selling dollar to Bureau de change anymore. You cannot access dollar with your Naira card anymore. So much pressure on the dollar. And so much demand on it too, and less supply. What do you have to say to this? Because if you cannot define what is going on, dollar will keep on going up, and Naira will keep on getting devaluated.
You see, first and foremost, there is no black market. That market you see is the real
It's the
market.
official market.
Is the real market. Every other you are buying in the market, they are rated at 600 not because you have to import.
Yes.
And today, if you want $10 million at 600, you will get it.
Yes.
So it's the real market. The official market 400, you will never get it. You ask for 10 million, they give you $500,000. So where do you augment your
Alaji, I think this dollar discussion is making your face to shift off camera. I want to see your face really.
Well, the truth of the matter is that that market is the real market.
Yes.
And everything you are buying in the market, they are rating it at that real market, not at the official rate. Because the official rate, the dollar is not available. Today, you decided to have $10 million, you can get it at the parallel market, 600, you'll get your dollar. If you ask 480, you may not get even $500,000. So what do? You go to that real market, process your dollar, rate everything you are doing at that rate. And that is the rate you are paying, and that is the rate that is in the market, and that is the real market. Unless and until the government merges the two, I can tell you that we will continue to suffer. Because the official rate, nobody price anything at the official rate. Even those who get the dollar at the official rate. Because the truth of the matter, they don't get enough. So if you don't get enough, you have to go to an
augment.
Sure.
And that rate, the real that is the real rate, and that will bring.
Okay, so.
Hello, Raji. Oh, okay. I went to Ambrose, do you want to say something to this before I go back to Aruna? Because I need to also get his own take regarding this.
Yeah, I would say it's the power of demand and supply. When there is demand and the supply, the price is bound to go up. The simple economics. If the people that are building forests are more than the source, price will go. That's why
Ambrose is so relaxed because he has nothing to do with forex. Oh my God! So why the stock market is going on? It doesn't really matter what you guys are doing forex market.
No, not really. As far as most of the companies in Nigeria are going toward that direction that backward integration will help them to depend less on what
forex.
On forex, because actually what is happening today with inflation all over the world, anything you are bringing in Nigeria, you're already importing what? Inflation. And it's surprised today that when China decided to cut rate, while others are increasing rate. Japan decided to cut rate, when others are increasing. That's why I said, it is peculiar to your environment, where you are, your climate. That's why I'm not seeing CBN or MPC adjusting it because US have done so, England have done so, Canada have done so. No, look at the environment where you're operating. If you increase it in Nigeria now, today you're going to deflate our economic recovery because now it is not the excess money circulating that pushing inflation. It's cost of goods. That means cost push inflation we are seeing in Nigeria. If you either go there and increase your rate again, you are complicating issue for for the economy because that cost of fund again will now be add to what cost of and that's why I said I don't see them in Nigeria.
All right. Hello, Aruna, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, fantastic. So, what do you have to say to this dollar issue that we're currently experiencing? Do you think there is something that can be done to actually stop this before we get to 1,000 naira per naira? Yeah, 1,000 naira per dollar.
It's possible.
I think the very root of the problem is it has to do with us as a people in the country.
Yes.
Okay.
There is no Nigerian man that want to compromise his state of welfare. That is what it consumes. We have an eye for foreign things. And like I've just explained, there is a supply gap as far as the system is concerned. And if you have to meet your level of consumption, which means you have to look elsewhere. And that is why there is a import substitution. And when there is import substitution, you are going to pay with what? With dollars. And if you have to do that, you have to source for this money. So the demand for dollar, we are not a producing nation. How much is the government actually earning from oil revenue? So if you have to, and the thing is that because what the government is earning from oil revenue is not enough to go around, the people have to source. And you know, when demand outweighs supply, there will be, you come to being selective. So I understand how prices are going, because in a situation where there is only $50 to be paid and the price used to be $100, 100 naira, what really needs to work to the person? I say, I'm going to give you 120. And the next man will come and tell you that, let me pay you 150. Why? Because they want to get his or her hand on the dollar, so that whatever that they want to do outside will be done, except we find a solution to that supply gap that we consume what we have. It's not as if you cannot buy from outside, but when every of your demand is from outside, there is no way the FGN is the naira.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not now.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, we go on a short break, and when we return, we will evaluate the earnings reports or results from oil and gas sector. Stay with us. We'll be right back.